Hello, my name is Kenneth Chibuke Awere, a student of National College of Ireland, and my data warehouse project is on the study of top companies in America based on revenue, employment rate, and market capitalization. For this project, I had three different data sets, one from Statista, highlighting the top 1,300 companies in the United States, which was a structured data. The second was from data.world, showing me Fortune 500 companies highlighting their revenues, revenue change in percent, profits, profit change in percent, the assets, and the market value. Lastly, I had the unstructured data set from Fortune 500 highlighting the top 10 companies with their revenues in millions. I went over to my virtual space and I created a database on SQL named the DWIUS companies, and the direct connection was given to me using my R Studio, and I ensured that consistency and clarity of my data sets was established using the ETL process. Now going to my R Studio, I after the data set was loaded into the R Studio, I cleaned and transformed my data in the R Studio, and the next step was to export the transformed data into my SQL. So in order to achieve this, I used the RDBC library, which helped in connecting and saving my data sets into my database and formed tables for me. The next step was to go to my virtual studio for automation. On my virtual studio, the connection for the datasets created on SQL was created using the OLEDB source and the OLEDB destination. For the OLEDB source, I renamed to my raw data revenue because I imported my raw data revenue into this, and the OLEDB destination, I imported my dim revenue, that's my dimensions. After I did that, I went to the SSIS toolbox and brought in my execute SQL tags into my load table and I connected all both the revenue data, asset data, and the value data to my fact table, and the dimensions created from the respective raw data sources were implemented. Now you'll notice a truncating table here, and by using my execute SQL tags again in the SSIS toolbox, I truncated all my dimension tables, my revenue table, my assets table, and my market value table. And after doing this, I connected it to my load table in order to ensure that I have a backup for my data warehouse in cases where a new data is populated into the database, and to prevent duplication. Furthermore, I engaged in running my analysis and ensured that every every it all ran completely by ticking, showing you the good sign, and this means that the analysis was carried out completely. Now for the deployment of my cube, a new project was created. A new project was created on the analysis service and SSIS environment, and it helped in facilitating the cube deployment. As you will notice, I had to form data source views and also the data source view created the star schema which we're seeing here, and the star schema can be seen to be a, a, a combination of the three dimension tables which involve the market value dimensions, dimension revenue, and the dimension assets. And when I actually processed the cube, you would notice that the cube was processed and deployed successfully. So clicking the run button is just as a form of a confirmation of what you've done. Moving on, I went to my Tableau to express and analyze my BI queries, and because I had 3 BI queries, I developed 3 sheets. For the first BI query, it states how does the impact of employees affect the revenue generated by American companies. On the top of this sheet, we notice the company name of American companies, and this long bar indicates employee and the blue bar indicates the revenue. So the long bar here for this company AT&T shows us that they have 508,000 employees and a revenue of $321,092 million in revenues. Now, taking a smaller company called Ball has an employee of 31,000 and a smaller revenue of $7,225 million. So this is to say, in conclusion, that the impact of employee on the revenue of a company depends on the activities of the company. Moving to the next sheet, which is my next BI query that states what cities has the highest employment rate. We see that the New York City in the United States has an employment rate of 2.3 million, and a revenue in millions of 942,647 million. And a smaller city in the United States called Kansas has employment rate of 15,500 and a revenue million of 6,983. So in conclusion here, or in summation, we're trying to say the bigger cities in the United States have higher employment rates and higher revenue than smaller cities. And for the last one, we have company with the highest market capitalization. Now here we see the color coding. We have it coded in yellow, and the ones coded in orange and thick red are the ones that are highlighted as companies that have higher market capitalization. For AT&T, company in the United States, has a market capitalization of 293,602, and a faintly colored company like Rockwell Collins in the United States has 5,244 market cap. That is to show that the bigger companies with the bigger name have better stocks, better assets, and better market capitalization than smaller companies. And in conclusion, these BI queries will provide investors with the corresponding information, careful information that would enable them to invest in good business and companies. Thank you.